Welcome guys, welcome. Hi RNG God, hi anybody else out there as well that's actually sort of just jumped in. We're going to be playing some Field of Glory Kingdoms today, and this is part of the ongoing series actually that we've sort of had started off with this one here actually, which you've got the live stream here on Steam with the medieval medicine. We're going to the next phase now, which is the hierarchies essentially. So we've got, if you haven't looked at it, we'll sort of start this one off just with a bit of a mention of the of what Slytherin is actually doing with their lens on snapshots for Field of Glory Kingdoms. And so we've got hierarchies and livelihoods, which they've sort of got like, so they've been doing a series. You can see they've got medieval medicine coming back up through here. Now they've got the hierarchies and livelihoods that are now extending back up. They bring them out about once a week, and they're very, very cool. They're only short little videos that just give you a little bit of a snapshot into the history of what's been going on, or what has gone on back in the medieval period, which is, as I say, quite interesting. Very well presented as well. So I quite enjoy watching those. Anyway, I'm going to leave those behind, and we'll just get into our actual presentation. So now where did we get to? We've got Empire Kingdoms in through here. I'll just let it load back in again. Anything you want to see in the game, just sing out, please. I'll just I don't mind. Now if I press escape, yep, it's going to go back. All right, so we're going to I think continue on from where we left off last time, which was the playing as Wales, and we only got 4 turns in with what we had done last time, with where we sort of setting different things up with the actual faction itself. We did a bit of a deep dive into that, and I've completely forgotten what we did. Not that we have to go back and redo it, but I'm just going to have to trust that we sort of got to a reasonable position with that one through there. So I'll just go back in and load this one. Actually, before I do that, we're talking about hierarchies and so on and so forth. I might actually just start up a few scenarios, because we've got a bit of time. So let me just show you, I guess, different aspects of how the hierarchies are managed in the game across different empires. So if we just go across and select this one through here. If you have watched that series, they talk about the different strata of society throughout the medieval period, and they do sort of mention, like, for example, the lowest rung is going to be your slave class. Now, that's actually not modelled in the game as an actual population group. It was in empires, in Field of Glory empires. It was actually modelled there, but not in this one. The way they model it in this game is through different sorts of buildings. So they still actually sort of just keep the peasant class essentially where they are. But let me go and explain that one a little bit. I don't even know if we'll get to see it. If we go into something like into like the Danish at this stage would have had slaves. In fact, most places would have had slaves at this point in time. Certainly these Islamic sort of states would have them as well. Down through here, but the various groups. If you have a look at, I guess, the biggest of the groups, which is the Byzantine Empire, back in through here, would actually be this. I guess is sort of like gives you a bit of a snapshot as to exactly what is from one extreme to the other. Playing as Wales, we're playing at one extreme, sort of, like where we've got a very, very small country and small populations to sort of manage, whereas the Byzantine Empire has just got enormous amounts. Let's just get started with them and have a bit of a look and see what they've got. So it just runs through the AI, playing all of the different factions. I think one of the complex things about this game, and where you've got to get your head around, is the interplay and the purity of the different game mechanics that actually model so much historical aspects of essentially of the era, and Agio, the developers of the game, do an incredible job with all of their games like this, where they really can push things to the absolute extreme in terms of trying to sort of get mechanics that make sense, that actually still sort of reflect historically accurate aspects. Anyway, let's just click on Constantinople. And so, of course, what happens here is we showed this one last time, but I'll cover things again in a brief sense. we're looking here at the province view. So we're sort of looking at Thracia, for example, which actually, and so we can go back to the region view if we wanted to, just click on different areas. But this actually consists of Constantinople back and through here, and then various other regions in through this other side, and we get to see the various populations in their different columns through here, which gives us a bit of a representation of what's going on. Now, playing as the Byzantine Empire, you don't want to be micromanaging every single aspect of what you've got through here. So this becomes it's much more important to use the province system to manage your empire. And of course, just to recap, one thing we can do with that one is just to go and click on these little buttons in through here. For example, just go to balanced. That will then reshuffle your population into different areas, and also back over here as to what to build. If I click on that one, they'll start to build certain things. There's still some slots left open. For example, here in the Archidopolis, I'm going to be butchering all sorts of names here as well, by the way. What I might do is I might just move my head somewhere else. Just bear with me. I'll just have to try to guess that I've got the right one. If I put it there, I think that will work. Let's see how that goes. Hi Cthulhu Kitty, how you going? And I'll just go back to the game. Hopefully I'm not covering too much. Yep, that's pretty much perfect, I think. So that will be fine. I think we'll sort of then be out. I'll be out of the way, out of the way, and relegated to a role on the side there. But when you actually do sort of use these for the management, and then you place a peer to look after the different regions. Get maybe this person through here, for example, just go and throw them in. And so you've then got sort of like the best way of very quickly managing your province system, which is fantastic. They then look after the various populations. But if we have a look at Constantinople, these sorts of high level factions, and also the high level regions can be quite informative as to what's actually going on through here. And so we saw through there, if we go, actually we'll just go back out again, we saw there that we've got like some in this sort of pinkish area, like we've got a couple of populations in through there. In this one through here we've got like 3 across the rung there in the green. Then we actually have like a heap of them that then moved into Constantinople in this yellow section. We've got some in the orange section and some in the blue section. So what do they all mean? How do they all interact? Etc. etc. So we'll start with the lowest and work our way up to the highest in terms of the whole hierarchies within the game itself. So if I just go back into Constantinople and have a bit of a look, they represent these populations. So in fact, should we go to... I'll do it from Constantinople, where we've got like the 2 in through here, and then we've got the 6 back and through this other side. So we'll go to Constantinople. There's your 2, and these are just peasants. So we've got the peasant stock that's sort of now working inside inside that particular area. Peasants can be moved down into these different areas as well. Like we can move them into the infrastructure if we wanted to, but they usually work lower. Like they're not as good at working some of these others. We also then have the trading area as well. And peasants, you can see if I try to move them to anywhere else, it's +0. Peasants cannot be moved into these other rungs of society. They only get to work within the infrastructure rung, this one through here, or the food rung. So they either work the farms or they work the infrastructure. And so that's pretty much how peasants then work. And so they're the only 2 I can sort of change and slot around if I wanted to. And so with that, you'll notice that this then is reflected by food, infrastructure, and then money, for example, in this left-hand side. And on the other side, we've got a few other different things. We've got stewardship down the bottom through there, piety, and then we've got, essentially, this is your military, which is actually a little bit different as well. But I'll talk about all of these different slots. And so in this case, we've got the, I don't know if we hover over there. No, it won't. So in this case, if we've got both of them working on the food, we're getting +11 food, which means that we're going to start to, we've still got a growth aspect inside the actual, inside the location. We've got positive food coming back in. They will share it amongst the actual province. So the province itself will also then pool the resources. You can see there the pooled food. Pooled food. I'm going to be stumbling over these words a little bit. But the pooled food for that province is plus 30. That's all of the food coming in and then shared amongst the actual province itself. Infrastructure is also shared. This allows you to then use infrastructure from one region to then help another region within the province to then help it build different things as well. So that's one way to sort of then try to, like, by using these tools, you can then sort of end up helping the other regions depending on what actually does happen. And then money, of course, is also going to be very, very important for, you know, the actual income that you then have globally. But this is the province income. If we go back to region again, we'll just go back to Constantinople. And so we can see there that we've got the peasant stock is the lowest of the low. So the slaves are sort of like, if you did have like a slave grouping, it would appear in the buildings where it's sort of modelled, and I don't know if it is in any of these actually. Like, but it would be modelled somewhere in one of the actual buildings, and it would be mainly some sort of benefit. You know, like, I don't know exactly which building it would actually end up being, but that's sort of how they do model it in this game. In empires, in Field of Glory empires, they were actually a grouping that you could actually then have, similar to peasants that we actually have in through here. Serfs are also basically the same thing as peasants in the game. So if you're thinking of any sort of like serfdom type thing, that's really what you're looking at there with your lowest of the low. The next one up is your freemen. So the freemen can actually work any of these three areas. So they can work on the farms, they can work in the infrastructure, which is usually your mines, your stonemasons, clay pits, you know, any sort of infrastructure essentially. So they're your, I guess, almost indentured workers, but also if they are freemen. So the indentured workers would be the peasants that are then told to then go and work on the mines, but the actual freemen would actually then be able to sell their services a little bit, and so they can sort of work in any of these different zones. And you'll see there that we get +5 if they work in any of these. But if I grab that freeman and move him down, he actually is more effective working in the commerce sector. So these freemen are actually sort of more like merchant class, I guess, is a way of sort of thinking of these. But in this case, the Byzantine Empire's got like a lot of the in Constantinople. They've got a lot of freemen here, so they've got a lot more than they've just got the peasants. If we go to somewhere else, for example, if we just go and click on the Archaeodopolis, we can see there that there's 3 peasants and only 2 of the actual freemen. Back in through there, sorry, it's actually moving at us. There is little sound effects that will come up all the time. It's anyway, we've got the in this case they're actually working the agriculture. This one here is working the infrastructure and health actually as well. The health buildings will then sort of work in through here. In this case, if I go and click on that one, you can see that we've got a +6, not a +7 in this case. So we can generate a little bit more gold. We've got +11. We do that when we get +17 essentially. So this is actually how these numbers then sort of correlate. And so that's pretty much what we sort of see in through here with the various workers. I'll just go back to Constantinople where we've got like more population. So if you do need infrastructure, you can see that we're actually losing infrastructure through here. We've got -10. So different things are chewing up the infrastructure. So we could actually, if we wanted to, grab 2 of these and go and add them in there, and that will then sort of round that out to 0, but then at the expense of money. So the game automatically is thinking, look, they're better served down the bottom through here, generating more income, which is fine because if we're looking at the provincial aspect, anything that's lacking through here will still be pooled with the infrastructure and then sort of used across the actual region itself. Okay, so we'll just go back to Constantinople again. So that's your freeman. The next class that we actually have is sort of like a piety class or a clerical class, and these are also interesting because they can be shuffled around as well. So if you absolutely have to, you can grab your clergy and you can move them across into infrastructure. So I can move clergy across to work essentially within the infrastructure of the game, so they can be shuffled around. But this will then sort of impact your overall piety. Now that may not matter for some factions, but for most it will. This is sort of like the piety is very important in trying to sort of keep your populace happy and essentially cohesive. Hi Began, how are you going? So in this case, like I would tend to be leaving that. You can see there we get 10 infrastructure per clergy group that's actually sort of going back to work there. But we get +44 coming back over this way, in this instance in Constantinople, if they actually are working inside the clerical area of the actual of the game. The last one that we actually have is the nobles down through here as well. And what these ones do is that they provide stewardship and authority. And so you'll see that we've got stewardship in through here. And so this is fairly important in terms of the governance of the actual provinces themselves. And then they also, the authority is critically important in terms of if you've got like a large empire like the Byzantine Empire, the authority is everything in terms of trying to sort of keep all of the far reach of the empire cohesive. So you do need to have a strong noble class to be able to then sort of carry that one forward. So this is again very, very modelly in ways that you don't even get to really see in the game, which is, I would love to be able to sort of expose that a little bit more, because I think that as a player you actually don't appreciate the amount of work that's gone into the actual system with the authority system to be able to sort of just see it very, very clearly. Anyway, the nobles can switch around between. They can actually go across to the monetary, so you can actually have nobles back in through there. They can also go up into the military tab, or in this case they're basically doing military and fortifications, which is a bit of a waste. You don't really need it there. Like it's sort of usually that's not going to do as anywhere near as much. You'll see it in equipment is one of the main places that will then sort of be impacting. It did actually impact the gold slightly in this instance, but that doesn't really sort of matter that much. So I'll just go back up into here and just to show you. The equipment has a direct bearing on how big an army you can actually then sort of hold. So again, all of these mechanics sort of interweave and form something very cohesive. Generally, though, you don't want to be moving them away from the stewardship and authority. It's sort of one of these things, again, it's so critical that you actually end up with having the stewardship and the authority, but you don't get to see it clearly on the actual game itself. Anyway, that's the Byzantine Empire. One other little thing I will sort of point out is that the Byzantines at Constantinople have a lot of what are called world wonders. And so they've got, for example, the Theodosian walls. There's a world wonder. It's a unique building which does different sorts of things in through here as well. That can be enhanced again through, like if we can bring in weapons, armors, or naphtha, then we can actually then get even more benefit from the manpower and equipment. Again, which is affecting the military area of the actual of the population. Other things as well, we've got the Hagia Sophia back in here, another world wonder. So these have got a fair few different things. A feudal city is not a world wonder, but it's just a very, very large city. And this will then impact, what's interesting even to have a look at this is to sort of see, okay, look, we've got a feudal city back over through here. And it's generating all sorts of different things because it's a feudal city. And so we've got the money is coming in. It's getting different bonuses from different things. We've got stewardship. We've got manpower coming in again from different bonuses. So it does a lot of work with these different sorts of aspects. Like a feudal city, if we go into another group, for example, let's just go and pick maybe somewhere in Greece. Let's just go and pick, say, around Athens, and have a bit of a look. In this case, they've got a Byzantine domain court, and so this is they don't. There's no the cities are no longer the massive cities or the world dominating cities of yesteryear, and so they've actually got like a different sorts of things. You can see it's a lot less. Their manpower is negative, stewardship 5, equipment 10. So nothing like the big cities that we then get to see in some of the other centres. For example, as we had a look through here, big feudal city, giving a lot of different bonuses. So this actually also the buildings in conjunction with the actual pops that you actually then end up sort of shuffling around, do have a massive bearing on how the game plays out. There'll be other big cities as well, like I think that Cairo is a feudal city as well. That's again got different sorts of things coming in through there. Again, lots of manpower coming into the actual capital. If we go back to where we're playing, I mean, if we have a look at Rome, Rome is actually still a feudal city at this stage as well, with lots of bonuses. We'll go back up to places like Paris, and they're also a feudal town. So this is not a feudal city. And if we have a look at this one through here, and if I go and click on this button up through the top through here, if there's any way we can change it, it will then show up. This is not a city, this is only a town. So I'm not sure where the how we get the extra bonuses in through there. Let's just see, that one there is a the king's residence. Yeah, that's on its own. Oh, here we go. This is now showing it. I don't know why it didn't show it before. Maybe it did. Maybe I just didn't notice it. So feudal town again gives a different sorts of bonuses than the feudal city, but you can see through here this one comes from a village. This is actually really quite interesting to see this, because this one does show just the breadth of how the game does things in a bit of a hidden way, but it's got the village. So with more population, hamlets become villages, and so before you end up with a village. A village becomes, like we got a hamlet. So is there anything before a hamlet? No, a hamlet in through here. So a hamlet, the population is developing in the region, and so several hamlets are forming, giving a place for people to call home. Peasants will both work the land and provide manpower as levies for the army. And so this one allows you then to get sort of like different things, for example, like with different manpower bonuses, etc., etc. Then as it becomes a village, so the village is the next sort of, so with more population, hamlets become villages. The feeling of being part of the same community will improve regional loyalty. Somehow the increased population density favours the apparition of unsavoury individual who might racket or ransom unsuspecting villagers and different merchants, which is like an event that can occur. But you'll see there, as we go from one to the other, this one has got like manpower and equipment for the hamlets, and now we start to introduce. We've still got manpower and equipment, but we've got a little bit more that's coming through with manpower and equipment. Plus, we now also have the stewardship that's coming in as well. So stewardship is now starting to sort of pick up with the village, but it does also then bring its own aspect of problems as well. We end up with extra garrisons as well, so they're now sort of coming in. Do we have a garrison there? Yeah, we've got 2 garrisons there, 2 garrisons there. Then we have the feudal town or the medieval town. We've got one of the two. If you just go to feudal town, which is the one that we were looking at up through here, and so the feudal town is, so this town is home for a few hundred inhabitants, up to 1,000 or 2. In times of war, many men can be levied from there, willing or not. If it's a small but not insignificant commercial activity when things are quieter, there are two possible but exclusive town structures. One using cloth for the feudal town, the other is tiles and brick for medieval town. Choose wisely. So the layout of a medieval town was often irregular and narrow, blah blah blah, back and through there. And so we can now see that we've got increased stewardship, increased manpower, still got the same equipment that we had there before. Still only 2 garrisons. We do actually have overcrowding and dark back alleys, so we're now getting more crime coming back in. But we are also now generating 4 gold. So as these centres get more and more population inside them, we end up sort of, again, the game just develops it and pushes it into the various aspects of the game itself. And from there we can then go into the feudal city. We've got the medieval city as well, and we've got the Medina. There's a rare Muslim restricted upgrade of the medieval town. It's an important place, both from a political, and so this one here we're going to sort of see different things as well. So as we come back into this one, for example, if we have a bit of a look, we've now got extra gold, we've got stewardship, we've got more manpower, a lot more manpower. Still only the four, actually the equipment's saying 4 bonus allowed, back in through the other side. 4 garrisons now, and we also have still got the overcrowding and dark back alleys for that particular one. So that's the feudal city. Again, there are 2 possible but exclusive city structures, one using cloth, feudal, and the other tiles and bricks for medieval. So again, we've got a bit of a choice there. So that's actually what we end up having with the various towns. You can see Paris has got like a large population of peasants and then freemen as well. So this is actually a fairly large in terms of its pop group. And it is actually, but it's only a town that we sort of see in through there. So you need to develop these up as you play the game. Hope that all makes sense. And then where we're playing, back in through here with Gwynedd, we've actually got very, very limited force aspects with what we're going to be doing. Let me load up the game that we're playing, unless you want to see something different, but I'll load back up that particular one. So if I just go back and return to the main menu. because ours is very, very minimal with what we actually have. So if we just go back in and load, go down to this one here and load it in. There we go. And appoint male characters as provincial governors, also known as peers of the realm. They can lead armies. If we didn't see all that. It always goes too fast. They're really good tips, actually, by the way. If you've got the game, have a look at those tips because they do make a big difference. Now, we are playing as Wales through this instance. The last thing we had turned on was the culture and population overlay. And this tells us how many populations we actually have. So we've just got 7 all the way through our kingdom in through here, our petty kingdom. We have 1 vassal over through here at Dubath. Again, I'm going to be butchering the name, so I will apologise if you're Welsh. You're thinking, what the hell? What's Morganwig? Or Powies. I think Powies is how you pronounce it. I think I've heard that on, what's that show? There's a Netflix show with, was it Ulrich, son of Ulrich, or whatever his name is? A great little show, that one. Yeah, so we've got all these different sort of Welsh names. I always pick places. Anglesey, I know that name. There we go. That's one name I do know. Anyway, we'll just go back to the culture. Sorry, just turn them off for now. So Flopsy Doodle saying, don't worry, most non-Welsh or British people butcher the pronunciations too. Yeah, I actually just chosen somewhere in Britain or somewhere like that where it's a little bit easier for me. Anyway, we'll continue on. So with our different populations, if I do turn on the culture and population overlay, so it will then sort of tell us regions are coloured depending on their population and main culture. Numbers within regions show population count, with light orange colour showing low population, ivory average population, watery green colour high population, green colour very high population. Now we don't really get to sort of, we see it on the other sides back over through here again. Again, if we hover that one through there, light orange is sort of showing a low population for what they actually have. Actually, I don't even know if that's actually accurate, to be honest. I don't think that's really what happens here, because I think it's just the regions that you have. I think it's the actual population groups. I think that the groups that we actually have in through here is, we've got a Welsh population. These will be Anglo-Saxon. Yeah, it's just the population types. Scottish, Irish, for example, back in through this other side. So it's just showing us that this is the Welsh group that we actually now have. In the last one, we did actually take on Morganwig, and so we actually did take that one from them. So we've just taken over this particular province where we left it last time. And so you can see we've got minimal population pretty much everywhere. I'll just turn that one off. In fact, I might just turn back on the ownership overlay just so we can sort of see who owns what. Actually, no, maybe even not that. Let's just go this way. Make it a little bit prettier. So if I go and click on this area, we then come up with North Wales is the province that we actually have. So we've got 2 provinces. We've got North Wales and South Wales. And again, we've already set these up to be balanced in this case. So we've got the Ionian is one of the nobles looking after this particular region. So he's a governor. I'll talk about more stratas. We're talking about the actual local strata. That's actually prevalent. If we go back in, say to Gwynedd, which is our capital, you can see that we're not actually using anyone in the actual fields here. We're using everyone in infrastructure, and we're trying to build a poultry farm. So you can see, you get a sense when you come from a place like the Byzantine Empire, and all of a sudden you're building little farmlets and things like this. You know, we're sort of struggling here in terms of our structure, but that's fine. The game sort of models these things incredibly well, and across from extremely large empires down to small little kingdoms, and it all just makes sense. So anyway, with this one through here, you can see that we've got all of our peasants are now working in the infrastructure. So they'll be working in, what have we got, a craftsman's burrow back in through there. We've got a copper mine, and we have a mining exploitation there as well. So we're getting more metals coming back through this other side, another couple of metals back through there. We are getting infrastructure, so we're getting plus 22 infrastructure, which will then help with the building of the poultry farm. And so this will then just help with the agriculture, with what we're actually doing through here. We have our freemen are both, the two freemen that we have in this particular location are both working here in the anchorage. So, and the shoemaker shop essentially is where they're making money. So they're essentially making money through here. The sheltered inlet that we actually have through here will ultimately, we'll be able to upgrade that one slowly over time. And I'd like to try to do that as we sort of progress through the game. Back on the other side, we've only got one clergy. Now, it's not as if we're competing with any other real groups, but there can still be heretics which sort of show up from time to time, which you have to be a little bit careful of. And we also then just have the single noble back in through here. So the next, this is out, like as I said before, this is pretty much like the very much the local group that we actually have. Now, some groups will then have other things in their military area. Like, for example, we've actually got the domain court. So inside it, with our nobility that we actually have through here, we've got a domain court back and through here. So here, a bailiff, seneschal, sheik, or powerful tribal leader will administer and supervise the daily domestic affairs of several regions, which are grouped together into a domain, sometimes called a province. The overlord can optionally appoint a peer of the realm, acting as governor of the domain, providing extra bonuses depending on the character in charge. And so this is actually the domain of the governor that we're put in charge of this region. So this is sort of like the connection between the governor here. So this is our brother, Iquin, and we don't know what his loyalty is. So, but he's got very, very good administration, not very good military, but he's also got fairly good piety back and through there. So if you have a look and see, he is actually at this domain court. So he is essentially our seneschal. He's governing this province from here, and so the net income from that one does give us stewardship. It also allows us to have extra garrisons in it, like if we get attacked, which is nice and cool. That's great. And so we have a now. Can we just we can actually disassemble that if we really wanted to, which we wouldn't really be wanting to do that one. It's a tier 1 stewardship building. If I click on the actual building itself, we can see it doesn't actually go anywhere. So it's it doesn't really extend anywhere else. The next one we have is the King's Residence. This is actually the character that we're playing as. This is actually where he lives. So this is the place where the king of a minor kingdom will rule over his realm. He's heavily guarded with his most loyal soldiers. And so we have other different bonuses in here that once we sort of really get going, like gold, weapons, armors and stuff, are going to give us more equipment. And stewardship. Stewardship is good at 17. Equipment is still 5, which is actually not too bad. We can't disassemble this one. This is one that we have to keep. And so that's the seat of the realm. Minor king and modest court, so the region loyalty bonus of 10, and region is a national capital in this instance. And so we can see that when we go back to the provinces as well, just to sort of show that one through there. We do actually have, that's then indicating that that's where the actual capital is. That little one off to the side. Then finally we have a town crier as well, which is just giving us extra stewardship. It does give events though as well, and these can be quite important. So the town crier will make sure everyone hears what the authorities consider worthy of notice. It's like our modern news media, I guess. So event, if loyalty is low in the region, he has a chance, depending on your accumulated stewardship there, to trigger a temporary loyalty increase, as people understand through his voice that the king or war chief gazes upon them. And so again, it's just a tier 1 stewardship. I don't know if that one increases either. I don't think any of these can increase. Yeah, none of these increase. We have another area as well, which is sort of important to understand. So we've gone from this is linking our noble grouping. Is connected through these courts, essentially through the domain court and the king's residence or the castle. We can also then have other things like a fortified village in through here as well. And so this is sort of like the Mott and Bailey type aspect of what we end up doing. And so this one gives us more stewardship as well, more manpower. The population is taking things in hand. So we actually do have a village for the people to live within, and we live within that as well. So we've sort of got, like you see, we don't even have a hamlet here. We've got very, very rudimentary, when we look at, again, the Byzantine Empire and Paris and Rome and those larger larger centres, they've gone through a process of building hamlets, building villages, building small cities, large cities, etc., etc. We really haven't even started that process properly yet. We've just got like a small collective of of buildings, maybe with 100 people or something, a couple of hundred people sitting inside like actual little villages and things. So this is actually where we end up with this one. This one does allow us though to start to extend out and become more fortified. So the fortified village can then extend across to a rudimentary fort, a rustic ringwork castle, or a rustic hill fort. These will then extend across as well if we go and click on those. So they extend out across into like that's actually a Muslim Motte and Bailey, but we've got all these are actual locations, I think. Oh, there's a Motte and Bailey there. Go to the Motte and Bailey can then become a shell keep and stone bailey or a stone castle. So we sort of end up with getting like and even that goes up again to a concentric castle, a large concentric castle, and that goes even up into the Theodosian walls, which is the Byzantine world wonder. So that's sort of like the final step in that sort of process. Not that we can't build this, but we can build some of the others as we sort of start to progress through. We saw them some unique buildings as well as to what can be built depending on where you actually are. So anyway, that's sort of like the progression again of these military aspects. But there's yet one more little level into here which sort of is connected with this local province, and I don't think we've got any of them. I'll just have a quick look through and see. I think we're too small for this. Here we go. We do actually have the hamlet, which we looked at before. Nothing there, nothing much there. We do actually have a domain court there. This is actually the seat of power for the person that's actually, and we've put this is Eon in through here. Unknown loyalty, again, good administration. Okay, piety, terrible military, but that won't really matter that much. Let's have a look and see what's over the border, because this could be interesting to sort of see what we end up seeing in through this other side. Hang on. Yeah, so we are seeing a stronghold site. And so in this case, this special structure represents the location of a regional stronghold, be it a modest rustic fort or a mighty concentric castle. It's given for free once you start building a permanent fortification, and will support the various bonus provided by temporary defence buildings. And so this is going to mean that they end up with more garrisons in through this other side. We do actually have, this is the other one I'm looking for actually, the baronial vassal. And so what we find is over the border in England, in which part of that one is that? Mercia, is it? Yeah, in Mercia, we're probably going to find there's going to be a lot of these, and all the way across England. And so they very much have these baronial vassals. And these are really, really interesting. So the baronial vassal is normally this small holding is under the control of the regional owner, practically a landed noble, baron or equivalent. He's ruling some part of it. He will provide to his liege some manpower when needed and will defend fiercely his own little domain. But a large chunk of the taxes are kept for his own expenses. It's not all bad though, as his firm hand is of certain help in keeping the populace under control, in an age where authority was often decentralised. So it's possible to give the minor noble a barony through the regional decision grant land and revoke it through the decision remove civilised. So you can adjust these, but it comes with problems. And you can see through here the net result is he takes extra food, he takes extra money, and he takes manpower, because he's got his own small little holding. And so that's sort of how that one is then sort of is sort of abstracted into the game. So it costs you. And when you first look at it, you think, oh, I'm going to have to get rid of that. But, what it does do is it gives you so many other little bonuses. And so this is actually how it's then sort of, this is how it's now working through that middle tier of nobility, which is outside of the population nobility, but it's still part of that grouping, but it's nowhere near big enough or strong enough to really be represented as a baron in the court or anything like this. And so in this case, they give you a bit more siege resistance, they get more garrisons. It repels raids, so it acts as a 25 strength garrison to repel raids. So again, it protects your forces, and this is really important for the English on the Welsh border, because the Welsh were raiders, and so essentially they were there as the marcher lords to stop the Welsh, and so that's really what they're there for. So these guys are here to stop us. And the baronial vassal Iron Fist rules, so stewardship bonus of 20%. So they get extra bonuses coming back in through here. You can see there the base stewardship from nobles is 25. The And then it's got a 20% modifiers from structures. And this structure that's giving that 20% is this particular baronial vassal back and through here. It also gives a regional loyalty of 10. And so these were important but expensive. So these are a bit of a double-edged sword. If you find you just really don't need them, then you do need where did it say it before? Yeah, remove civilized. You need a decision to remove them from power, and that's one that comes through the card system with these regional decisions back up through there. Okay, allows the recruitment of medium infantry standing army units if you have any. If the national authority is very strong, this baronial holding can either be disbanded automatically or provide an absorbed vassal decision should you have none. So if you already have very, very high authority, you don't need them. But if you don't, and in most cases you don't have high authority, they can be very, very useful with what they actually do with their stewardship. So stewardship and authority sort of like they work together very, very strongly. In fact, I think it's a 102. Is that sort of no? That's showing us different through there again as well. That's all right. So it's actually just a can be removed using the remove civilized regional decision. So that's the baronial vassal, and we'll find them a lot as we sort of look around the map. We don't have one there. It's just a fortified village. Actually, it's going to make a liar of me now. Minor stockpile. It's only got the one. I thought we'd find more of them, to be honest. I'm not finding any. I happened to luck onto one of them right at the very, very start. Sure, there'll be more of them. Fortified village. I wonder if they come in. Here's another one. There's so we've got the Strathclyde in through there. That's actually a rustic ringwork castle. So we've got a big castle there. Levy Camp, Fortified Manor. It's interesting to see what's around, actually. Yeah, I thought there'd be more of those, to be honest, more of the baronial vassals. But there's one of them in through over here. So that's in Hereford, and then we've got the Cheshire as well. It doesn't actually have one. So this is actually where we're going to be looking to expand into. We'll be looking to try to take these from Mercia. Will be what we try to do. They're a vassal of England, so it could actually end up being quite dangerous for us. But that's that's really our next step. Okay, so that's sort of now gone through the middle rungs of society. Let's just now go out to the upper rungs, which is going to be, of course, our own court. And so our court is then modelled again just through the if we go back to Gwynedd, so through the king's residence. And the domain court. When we do go back to the province. The domain court is like the seneschal is essentially ruling this province on our behalf, and he is also just a member of our grouping. If I just go back out there again, close that one, and so we've got the king in through there. This is the only place where you can actually see the summary of what the king has got. When you go into the next screen, you don't actually get to see it again, I don't think. Anyway, he's been ruling for 23 years. He's got a strong heir in Morgan, and through this instance, he's pretty mediocre except for piety. So his administration, military, middle of the road. Piety is high though. He does have an offence and defence rating, so he can actually rule his armies. He's a liberator, as we can sort of see in through there. If we hover over liberator, skips pacification, but more decadence from conquest. So population unrest value for different regions is increased by +1. And then we've got focus as well. So maximum domain size increased by 25%. Region 1 extra building slots for structure construction. So we've got more than enough. We can still build our kingdom up quite a bit. We've still got a fair bit in terms of the amount of domains we can actually have under our control. Let's have a quick look at the realm traits. It's not going to be there. Some abilities. Well, this is a very, very useful little tab here. Pretty much whenever I start a game, this is one of the first things I look at, and so I want to have a look at the things like the character limits, the retinue allowance 10. So that's how big our armies can be. Sorry, this is maximum number of standing. So the retinue is one thing. The maximum number of standing army units is up to 10, which doesn't cost us anything. That one allows us to not pay that's one we don't pay for, which means we can actually have a very, very strong army ultimately for this particular character. And this often depends on your level of like we're a stable petty kingdom at this point in time, which feeds a lot of these different things in through here as well. We've only got the current number of standing army units is only 2 at this point in time, and so we'll be wanting to improve that over time. But we have to also maintain balance with our army. So last time we just sort of set different things up and sort of went from there. Now we should see the domain aspect of how much we can actually then have. I forget where that actually is. I thought that showed up in there. Realm traits. No, I'm not seeing it there. Overview. Oh, here we go. Domain size, 5 of 19. Authority, again, up to 18 in through there as well. So the current size of your domain, required size for government change, each vassal slightly decreases this requirement. The value in parenthesis indicates the maximum domain size. It still maintains authority gain, while appointing peers of realm, governors can increase this value through their administration. You can at most double the base. So what that's basically saying is as we get larger and as we start to appoint different people into positions of power, like the governor in through here, then that will then sort of allow us to maintain this a little bit. We can get up to 18 and still get positive authority. As we take over different locations, though, it will actually impact our authority, overall authority, because we're spreading it out, and so that actually then has a bearing on the disorder that we end up having. So authority and all these things, everything it's so hard to actually try to give a quick summary as to how they all sort of work in. The authority and disorder is how we then grow, and so we don't want to be too big because we want to keep on growing, but we want to keep on looking greedily at what we're going to be doing in the future. So I think what we'll do is let's have a quick look at our decisions. What do we actually have in through here? We can recruit non-standard units. We can still revolt. So if we go into that one here, by feeling dissent amongst minor nobles or by arming disgruntled peasants and freemen, this region can be set in turmoil with a notable lowering of its loyalty towards its rightful owner. So it must be adjacent to one of ours. And so we could actually do that one. I don't know if we want to do that one just yet. One thing we also don't have at this point in time, sorry, I've still got to finish off this, talking about the actual court. The highest level of the actual hierarchies that we end up having is, of course, the king, and then we actually have the various our family. If the king has got a spouse, the spouse will be back over through here. Any concubines will be back over this other side. And then we actually have our actual relatives. And again, very important to check the loyalty. So when we see these full hands, it means that they're 100% loyal. When we see these half hands, it means that they're a bit iffy. We have to be a bit careful. And so if I go to loyalty and hover over it, you'll see there that if it becomes a grey fist, that means that essentially they've become rebellious. Unknown is what a lot of them are going to be until they sort of show themselves up. If we go into their charges, for example, this brother here, Iacon, is actually in charge. It's governing. It's a peer of the realm, governing North Wales. We'll have other ones as well. This one here, we've got Ineon as well, coming back through this other side. This one is governing South Wales for us. So these are the two seneschals that we actually have for those regions. The other groups with the charge that we sort of see through here, we've got Gronwa back and through here, which is he is leading the Welsh army at Morganwig, which we just took over. So he's actually in charge of that particular army. Again, if we go back to loyalty, we don't know what his loyalty is. We have to be a bit careful of that. We don't know what his loyalty is. We don't know what his loyalty is. And so these are important characters. We do have one character that is considered very, very unloyal. That's Ithil. Has a loyalty of 32 and can make a coup while at the court. It's got lower chance at this stage. And so we can actually go and... so Ithil is our uncle in through here. And so he is our biggest internal threat at this point in time in terms of the court. Now these don't, like, we can put them into positions of power, as we can sort of see, in charge of armies, etc., etc. We can do other things ultimately with them as well, but there's not a real lot we can do. We don't have a lot of sway over what does happen with these until events start to take course. So anyway, that's where we are. The treasure, as you can see through here, when we hover over the treasury. Very poor is going to be these. So these, our sons are very poor. Our uncle is very poor. Everyone else is okay, except for Gronwy, who is actually doing pretty well. So everyone else is sort of just middling along. So that's where we are with everything. There is actually another grouping back and through there as well. A few more characters that we actually have in times if they're relatives, and similarly back and through there as well, other nobles. And so that's the actual overall court. That's the hierarchy of the of what we're playing as. Right, let's get into it. So we've got the, so we do want to start to do things, for example, like I want to start to make claims. Now, if we go back into our empire again and look at the actual claims that we have, so we have to, you'll always have your capital as a claim, because that's always going to be important. So we've got that one through there. Let's go back to other claims. We also have Cambridge, which is miles away, as a claim for us, and we also have Kent, which is also miles away. So these are not good claims for us. So they're the actual claims that we actually have with that sort of red circle. I want to get a claim on these two at least, and because I want these to be part of my empire. I don't mind which one I get. So I'm going to start to work on both of them. And so in this case, we've got Hereford. If we just go back across to here, go to diplomacy. And so there's different things we can do with diplomacy just to start to set everything in motion. These are a vassal of England, and for more options you want to talk to their liege instead. But we can do certain sorts of things. We can sort of like insult an emissary. So insulting their emissary, or perhaps humiliate them in the most extreme case, kill one or two of their envoys. The end result will be the same. This will anger them and please their enemies. If you have no claim on their territory, you might get one, though it can cost some authority. Let's just go for that. So let's go and insult their emissary there. We should actually see just if there is any difference with happiness between what we're sort of doing there. If we just go across to political overlay, actually that's where we are there anyway. It's not really sort of telling us much. I'm not seeing it there. A bit of a look. Loyalty won't really matter much. I think we'll just go in and with this particular one, with that's all of Mercia. I just want to actually just go back to one of the others. So Hereford. Oh, this is actually going to be the whole thing. So in that case, I will actually go. This is Leofric back and through here. Military is better than ours. It's an earldom, which is fine. Foreign policy, help if trusted. Yeah, future ally. Here we go. Foreign policy, help if trusted. If a nation you plan to ally with is being attacked, no, I think we'll insult the emissary. Let's just get things going. Could be so you're barb about the loose morals of the women of Mercia have not won you any friends there, and so we're essentially insulting this kingdom. Okay, so we've got that one through there. No wars at this stage, but that's so that's now gone off. Request to our answers. That's fine. Just go back to there. We don't need to do much else there, I don't think. So we've got several signs. The next few months will be particularly harsh for men and crops. Recruit non-standard units. Now, do we need to do anything with our army? Let's have a quick look at our army. And so we've got. We don't want to be having more than the 10 units that we can get for free, and so we've unless they're really really cheap. So we've got the armoured noble cavalry, a couple of Ostmen, which are great. Noble cavalry back and through there. Baronic foot are okay. So we've got one. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're paying for 3 extras. These don't cost very much though. If I press Control and have a bit of a look, we should then sort of see what the actual cost here is. Food usage. Yeah, money's it should be 3 money and 5 manpower for those. If we just go down and find which ones aren't retinues, as I sort of scroll through these, that one there, yeah, it's costing us 6 manpower, 3 money to keep one of these guys around. These have taken a little bit of danger, a little bit of damage to them, but not really too much. Let's just go back to the actual locations that we actually had. Just go and look at, just see if we can we've got the unit queue is actually empty in through here. What we can get in through here is we can actually go with the mercenary Ostman. This is going to cost me a lot of money. These are not part of your standing army. We can get the Brythonic Foot. We can get the more noble cavalry, which is not too bad. Like, it would be not bad to get those. Let's go to South Wales and see what they can have. South Wales also has the Irish mercenaries, so the essentially the Vikings, and we then have noble cavalry here, but we can't recruit them in South Wales because we don't have one of the forts required, whereas up in through here we do. So I think I will right-click to add to the queue. So we're going to get this next turn. That will give me 3 cavalry, which I think would actually be fairly useful. We're going to be going into, for example, this here is hills, and this one here is plains. And so plains are definitely, cavalry is definitely going to be helpful to move down into the plains if we have to fight down through there. All right, let's just continue on. We'll just close that one off, and there's nothing much else we have to do, so let's just end our turn. I'll start to rattle through a few turns now while we get different things going. We want our authority to be high so we can go up in different levels as well. So it's processing the turn. It's now, so it's like a WeGo system where it sort of if it just plays out whatever the I think it's 6 months. I think is the turn. So it's just if things move around, it takes time for it, etc. We're up in the top area, but we're just not picking up any tokens to be able to move from a stable petty kingdom, which we want to do. Okay, so this is, again, these little tips are really, really useful. Let's move out of there. Amidst whispered rumours, Grufford of Wales makes a not so subtle allusion to the dubious morality of Leofric of Mercia's spouse. Okay, so now Mercia has, again, we've got sort of like similar sorts of things now happening in through there. We've now got -9 with them. They really don't like what's happening. This is actually translated across to even more across over through here. We've now got harsh climates, and you can sort of see this is now reflected with, we've got snow falling. Things are going to be a bit difficult. So let's have a bit of a look. We'll just go and close that one off for now. So we have, this is part of the map. So in this case, we've got the new claim. Grufford is asserting the region of Northampton for the benefit of Wales. So we're getting all of these different areas across in through here now, but nothing much is really going to help us. That's not going to, that's way too far away. But we want to get more claims. We can relinquish these claims and try to sort of do other things with that. You've received a new regional decision, so send councillor. Let's have a look and see what that one actually is. So regional decisions back in through here, send councillor. We've got you'll send one of your advisors, or is he a spy, to assist a peer of the realm in charge of one of your domain provinces. This will boost his loyalty and might even increase one of his ratings. So keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So region must be the provincial capital of a domain. So we can actually go through here and look at the 2 governors that we actually have at this point in time and try to sort of help them a little bit. So we're going to just send someone to keep an eye on them and keep a hand on the signatures, etc. So we'll just go and have a quick look and see. Oh, I've already just did it. Hang on, I can ditch that one, I think. Yeah, I can just right click it to get rid of it. Let's just turn that off again and have a quick look and see who's in charge. 513 and 525. Let's send it down into here. I think South Wales is the place to go. So we'll just go across, send councillor, and we will actually do that. One thing just to be mindful of, always check these decisions. I almost wish that they were more prominent on the screen, because what they do is, when you get to your maximum, we've got 16 that we can have. Once you actually hit your maximum, it will then sort of almost like be like in a card game where you actually end up having to draw another one, but put one back blindly. You're better off selling them if you're not going to use them. So just be aware of that as well. Like that can be quite important, just to keep on using them wherever possible. So we've got that one there. So we're sending the council the next turn for that one through that side. Harsh conditions, as you can sort of see across the northern part of the map. In fact, all the way down to there. Wow, that's actually quite a harsh season for everyone. So that's going to impact food. We're still doing okay. Manpower is going up, which is fine. Yeah, we're getting close to our maximums there. Yep, so next season, I don't know what we're going to get there. That's okay. All right, we're expecting a few harsh seasons anyway that are going to be coming up. There we can sort of see the weather in different locations. Like we've got snow falling on the mountains, rain there. Okay, so then we've received a new regional decision. Yep, we've done that one. So that's all we needed to do this turn. There's really not much we can do. I might move the army back. So I'll move them back up into there, and I'm going to move this army with this horseman to go and actually, I'm going to right click on that one, and it's targeting the Welsh army. It's going to try to merge with them. So it's, if I go, yeah, I can't do merge yet until we actually sort of go there, but it's going to be looking for this particular army. And so we'll move that one across. Now we're still, the military upkeep is now -8. I think I'm going to wait until I can get, actually, what did we end up with this one through here? It's non-standard units. What are we likely to pick up there? Actually, armoured noble cavalry. Oh, we'll grab one of those, actually. Let's go and throw that one into that grouping. Oh, hang on, they have to be stationary. In that case, I'll leave them there. They'd have to be stationary, but we'll just do it this way. So we'll play that card there as well. So we've got 2 decisions being made at that particular point. That will give us a really nice, strong cavalry. Okay, we'll end our turn again. So, hi von Schweinhut saying evening. Winter attrition is not an issue in the game. It's you essentially have harsh seasons which impact your income, and so that's actually how it's sort of abstracted again. It's sort of it plays a role in that sort of sense more than anything else. So we're still just fiddling about in here. That's okay. I should have done more insulting, I think. We're now certain that Ian, as a faithful peer of the realm, after the visit of one of our highest-ranking nobles. So we've now sort of, so he has actually come through. In Morganwig, Wales has enlisted talented combatants. They show a variety of skills. So we've got I'm just going to merge this group in with the other army. So they've now sort of been merged across, and we've now got these extra these armoured noble cavalry back into here as well, which are very, very strong. So we've got 2 middle of the road cavalry. I would love to get more of these Ostmen. But these, we've got Ostmen that we can get as military, as mercenaries, but I want them as actual standing units. So prefer them to sort of come back in. Press Control. These are levies actually, these Ostmen. But yeah, we definitely don't want to. We want to be getting more of those. Okay, we have. So we've got that one done. You're receiving a new regional decision. Forge claim. Here we go. This is what we want. So we can just go back across. Forge claim is going to forge a claim on a target land. The comparative administration rating of both rulers will influence the result. You can only target a foreign region where you have no claim. And so in this case, I'm thinking of going for Hereford. Maybe we have a look before we do this one. Let's just close that one off. Which one do we want? So this is Hereford in here. And then we've got Cheshire back up there. Does have a stronghold, the Baron, the stable. It means that we're going to be paying a little bit more for that one. This one here has got another anchorage, village roads, farms. Scribe's alarm bell. It looks like it would be easier to take. Gives me a lot more money here. Yeah, I think this one here, I think we'll actually target that. So we might bring our actual army further up into this region. Anyway, so it'll take a couple of turns to get there, just because it's mountainous. And in this instance, what we'll do is we will actually forge that claim there. There we are. Again, I could get even more of those if I needed to. Okay, so we could be at war with England fairly soon. Now, woodcutting has been completed in Powys, and yeah, Morganwig has enlisted talented combatants. We're now certain, yeah, we've done that one there as well, so that one's fine. Let's have a look and see what's going to happen now. We do actually have, in this case, we've got deactivate automated building management at the provincial level. You'll build them at the regional level. So we've got 6 open slots in Powys. Getting the Freeman cottages in through here. So we're managing it ourselves. Let's have a quick look back up and through here as well. They're all still building everything. Let's just go back into here and have a look at Powys. What can we build? What can we build? So we've got the we've got a pigsty. Actually, before we do that, food is going backwards. We do actually have groups in here, so getting food would actually be fairly good. The pigsty is going to give us less infrastructure, which is what you get with any building. Get 8 food and 2 money. Produces livestock. There's no extra within trade range. Within a trade range of 3, there are 4 needed, 3 consumed and 1 produced. That wouldn't be bad. I mean, even without looking at the others, that's actually a fairly good one for us to go and get. So I think we'll do that one just to get the growth. I mean, we're sharing the growth anyway, but let's just go and do it. We might as well round things out a little bit. So 8 turns for that one. England has a foreign claim on that territory as well, so that's okay. Do diplomacy. We'll do another insult. Actually, I'm going to forge a claim anyway. Yeah, I think we'll. I won't bother with. Oh, maybe we do it. Maybe we do it. Let's just get it so that we start to become fairly aggressive with them. The stupidity of the ruler, that'll be fine. So we'll leave that one there, and just end our turn again. So over the course of processing the turns, it will then move into the various territories. There we go, got our claim. Hi T-Rex, how you going? Did you join any of the multiplayer play by emails games lately? No, I haven't. I tend not to play multiplayer, to be honest. It's sort of, I don't have enough time, and when I do have time, it's usually at weird times for me, so I'm not reliable with them, unfortunately. So I tend not to do it. Okay, just go and click on that one. Insults. There we go. So we're just doing more and more insults. It's now negative 19, negative 36 down there with England. Just close that one off. Yep, so with disdain in their voice, Grufford of Wales insults the legitimacy of Leofric, daring to imply that they are naught but a base-born bastard. There we go. So we've received a new regional decision, the Art of Siege. Now this is one that we're not going to really need to use at this point in time. The Art of Besieging of, as the ancients call it, is one of the besieged is useful to resist an enemy for long. Yeah, that's okay. So we can sort of then end up making the siege a little bit more strong. Regional decision has not been applied in Cheshire as it became invalid. We got our claim back. All right, because it happened through osmosis, I think. Yeah, forged claim. Let's go that way. We can just keep on playing it, and hopefully we get something that's going to then trigger a little bit more down through here. Might instill maybe we'll still instill a revolt in here. Let's do that. Now, if we fight England, that could be quite damaging for us. So we've got to hope that Normandy kicks in at some point, or even one of the other kingdoms. Just have to wait and see what actually happens here. Let's just go and end our turn here. Maybe we'll keep on insulting and see if we can sort of get some sort of response back. All right, we'll just keep it going. So it took 2 turns to move into those mountainous territories. They've actually got a group there, the Mercian Army. Interesting to see what they've got. They've only got 3 units, but very, very high combat power. You're still up in the top with the authority, which is important. If we go to war, we're going to end up with that authority, going way, way back. It's going to go down. So it's that's sort of the natural way that the game keeps peace is through the spending your authority. It is important to try to be on top of this. So amidst venomous words, Grufford of Wales spews accusations suggesting Leofric is a despicable ruler with no true authority. They're negative 39s, and then negative 42, coming back down through. Yep, so, yeah, beautiful Hereford. Okay, we didn't get this one. And by Mercia attracted the greedy eyes of Wales. The claim has been easily rebuked, so that claim didn't actually go and work in that instance. Yep, so we've done that one through there. The administrative example of Anglesey is showing signs of organised stewardship, increasing our own authority. We get a +1 bonus now in Anglesey, which is good. So we're getting a little bit of extras now coming back through with stewardship. Still got a fair few times before the clay pits are then built. Rumours of marauders spread that the noble of Grufford has taken action by ordering the construction of a reinforced palisade to safeguard the region. And so what's happened there is that in here, even though we're building, like we've got the reinforced palisade is now being requested in this region, and so we don't have control of this as such. It's being brought in, which is still fine. Like that's really not a problem at all. So sometimes you won't have choices, but in this case, yep. Yeah, we've got actually we've got a new decision there as well. We'll get back to that one. So yes, as rumours of marauders spread, the nobles the noble of Grufford have taken action by ordering the construction of a reinforced palisade to safeguard their region. You can sort of see there that we're not the authority over everything, but we're going to get that in one more turn, and that will be useful. We've got a fortified village at the moment, so that's going to be good. Next one we have is received a new regional decision from peasants to freemen, so we can actually now start to push up our peasant stocks, which again is useful. So if we go from peasants to freemen, the more talented and useful peasants will be even more productive if they could acquire their own land or workshop. We'll promote 1 peasant to freeman. So I'm going to put this into Gwynedd, which is our capital. So we'll go and play that one there. And I'm going to again insult this group at Hereford. So we'll just keep on insulting. Right, end our turn again. We'll just really sort of get these guys to become very aggressive. Now we have to watch their army. Where's their army going? Oh, there's been a decision up there with a king dying. Still processing the turns. You're still way up in the top there, top rung. We're not getting any progress tokens. You don't want to be down the bottom, which is what will happen if we end up in a war that we start. Here we go, got harsh seasons yet again. Negative 48, negative 47. Now we've got there's a few decisions that actually there was the king here I think died. Oh no, ruling since 35 years. That's okay. I'll just shut that one down for a second. So you have a new regional decision: recruit non-standard units, so I can get even more knights if we have to. We might have a look and see what they're doing. So England is their liege. They despise us. Insult them yet again. So we'll leave that one there. Just it's funny to see their armies all marching off. Have a look at the political overlay. Yeah, there's nothing much really happening that we can see. I'm not sure where their armies were all heading off to. Right, so we've got another non-standard unit that's now come in that we can then sort of go and play when we need to. Now again, we have to be a bit careful of our money, so I'm just going to keep things sort of just developing along at this point in time. As far as my army is concerned, I can't attack or anything like this. I can move off into the ocean to go and do other things, but I really do want to get these if we can. So I'm just going to keep them where they are. There's really nothing much else here. We've done the insult, which is what we're going to be doing. Now we do actually have the reinforced palisades have now been built back in through here. So actually, where was the reinforced palisades? Oh, maximum number has been reached. It should have shown up there. Yeah, we're going to get these pretty fast. Yeah, let's just continue on. Hi, Beamslam. So, Beamslam, what exactly is the wording of this insult for the records? I'm not sure. I can't remember. We're just insulting at random at this point in time. We're trying to provoke. We consider ourselves to be in a reasonable position of power here. Now we have a bit of time. What do you guys want me to do? Should I actually go even more aggressive and just declare war? It's going to then wreck our authority. Like it's going to sort of make life difficult for us. But we could push that claim that we actually do have. So I'll just go and allow that one to come through. So insults. So has stooped so low as to mock the lineage of Leofric, his offspring, insinuating not only the stupidity of their father but also the ugliness of their mother. There we go. Negative 58 now. And we do have, as rumour spread of marauders spread, the nobles of Perfudwig has taken action by ordering the construction of a discreet hamlet to safeguard the region. So that's in here. So they're building a hamlet in through here. We just built the food storage. It's being requested. Yep, that's fine. So that'll give us a little bit more in through there as well. That'll be okay. There's a new regional from peasants to freemen. We've got another one. Okay, I'm going to do that again back in here again as well. Motivate troops. Yeah, we don't need that. Yeah, your mother smells of elderberries. I forget the rest of the Monty Python skits there. So I was trying to think of it when Beamsley asked the question, but I could. You've got it there, and I couldn't think of it. So we've got a pig dog or something. I can't remember exactly how it does work. Now we've got the Mercian fleet here, which has got so they've actually got a fleet of ships, medium war galleys, coming out of Cheshire. Okay, let's see if we can press this claim. We don't want to abandon a claim, of course, so we can't do anything there. We're going to have to go to war, I think. So are you guys happy for me to do that? I would normally play a lot more cautiously. Can you capture ships by surprise, for example? No, I don't think so. I don't think if we go into the port here, I'm pretty sure that we can't do that. But what will happen is that they will then lose their port. They'll have to go around to. Does that one have a port? No, that one doesn't have a port. So they'd have to go to another English port somewhere else to then sort of be able to bring the ships back inside. So there is actually there's no yeah, there is an anchorage there. Yeah, we could. Do we need to build our own ships? Do we need to build our own? Actually, we don't have any. All right. So what? Why can they? Have they been able to do that? So it should just be the old anchorage there. Anyway, we're going to continue on. And so in this case, we're going to, we've got we've done that one with discrete hamlet. Few storage has been completed in Fortifications. Banging through that other side. Okay, we've got the peasant to freeman. Did we do that one? Yeah, we did it. Yeah, we already did it. That's fine. Okay, well, let's go to war, I think. T-Rex is saying, yeah, if they are docked and you capture the city, you get the boats, but AO typically makes them takes them to sea. Yeah. So because there is that time factor as we move through. Last time I didn't, leave my email. Okay, so yeah, but I haven't seen the AI do that. So I didn't realise that if you did leave them in the port, that you lost them. I thought they would automatically be ejected, actually. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. All right, so we've got still got 3 turns. They're doing rudimentary earthworks there. I think we'll declare war just so we can do some other things, which will then make everything a bit more interesting, I think. If we go to war, so in this case, you'd be declaring war on Mercia. Yeah, it's going to be fine. They're going to call their vassal in. I sort of wish that they would declare war on me, to be honest. This is actually a really, really bad decision. Do we do it? We've got half an hour basically left to play. Actually, I might get you guys. What do you reckon? Should we do it? This is a terrible decision. You would never do this. But I don't think we're going to be able to get Mercia to declare war on us. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. See what happens. And we're going to have all of England rise up against us. More war, says Hoffman. There we go. We've got faith in our group. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and grab another group, another of these non-standard units. Okay, and then we'll move out. I don't think I can move off yet. No, I can't yet. It'll have to be next turn. some of the groups can actually do like raids where they can just declare war without actually, I think Scotland can, where they can just cross the border, but we can't. We have to do it officially through the official channels. We want this claim that we've got on Cheshire. Here comes our friends. So they're moving. Our vassal is now moving groups across as well. And we should take a hit to our authority once we do this. From England. Griffith, your excessive reliance on military might clearly indicate that Mercia will not be the end of your campaign. So we've got messengers now from England. So we are now at war with England. It's funny, Wessex, the vassal of England, it hasn't joined the war? Alright, so we're at war with Northumbria as well. Alright, time to go in. Just going to merge that with our other army. Move it down into the plains of Cheshire. Out of the hills, so we'll sort of be. We've got a lot of cavalry in through here. We'll be wanting to take this, dominate Mercia as fast as possible. So I can move into different other locations, but I'm just going to keep that one there. Left alone in their tranquil vale, peasants of Hereford gathered 25 extra food. Good on you. Good on you. That's what we want. Received a new regional decision. Sneak attack. Actually, what did that one give us? Authority cost to declare war is reduced by 20 points against the nation you've targeted with. Okay, we can't use that one. Wish we had that one last time. Also, you can plot the movement of your troops the same turn. There we go. That's actually really cool. That would have been great, but we didn't do that one. So, so we could have done that sneak attack. We'll save that one up. What we might do actually is if I hover over this one here, control right click to sell this decision, but shift right click to reduce the odds of having this decision. Shift left click to increase the odds. I can actually, with some of these, I'm thinking of actually shift left clicking this one through here. It makes it green. That way we end up with more of these. Sneak attack. I think I'll just leave that on default. It means it costs more to play it, but at least I get more of them. So let's just go that way. Okay, so once we reach the followers goal, yeah, okay, that's the stream elements. I thought it was a question. The banners of Wales are raised in defiance of Mercia. War is upon them. So now we're going to be moving in. These guys here we don't control. These are the Jubeth army. It's only a single unit. Now we may find that we may have to switch around between these two Marcher Lord estates in through here, Cheshire and Hereford. Let's just see how we go. The vassalage between Jubeth and Wales led to a common war against Mercia. So they've actually joined us in the war. As a vassal, Jubeth is helping Wales against the despicable East Anglia. And we've got the vassalage between Jubeth and Wales meant that there's only a matter of time before Jubeth fought against Northumbria. So Northumbria is now coming back in as well, which we saw. Vassalage between Northumbria and England meant that it was only a matter of time before Northumbria fought against Wales. So we've got that one through there. Wales is in a war against England. He's now also facing East Anglia. So we've got that one through there. The armies of Wales march forth to wage war in England. So we've got to have work cut out for us now. But we've got a lot of claims in England. The English are ours now. I mean, we've got claims all the way through England. Not that we're going to be able to do much. We're going to have to really dominate here which is extremely difficult. So I don't think we're going to do that well, but we'll see how we go. So hopefully somebody else comes and joins in. I should have actually, what I should have done is gone to my not good friends, but I should have gone down to the Normans down here. What have we got there? That's the French. That's interesting. So the French and the Normans are at war. I could offer a gift. No, I won't bother. What about the Scottish? They've got their own fights up there. They're not fighting England though. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. All right, so we'll just continue on. Okay, Wales has agreed that some peasants in Gwynedd will acquire their own land or workshops. Okay, so we've got all these different things now working their way through. Discrete hamlet has been completed in Pefwood, whatever it's called. Let's have a look and see what we can do there. Oh, hang on, we're looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, so discrete hamlet was actually built in there. I'm not sure where it shows up. Anyway, I'll leave that one where that is. Let's see what happens. Okay, we'll end our turn here. Move down into the plains. All right, so we've got our group with Gronwy with his 2 attacks moving down. Combat power 169 with 16 different units. Mercia and England, so Edward the Confessor's group has come back in. They've got a combat power of 65 with 7 units. This is one of these things I would love to export the battle. I'm sort of tempted to do that. It's just going to take time, that's all. We could view the battle. Now we do actually have, they've got 7 units, we've got 16 units, so we should easily do this one. Let's just actually view the battle, I think. I'm so tempted to export it just for the sake of it, but let's actually view the battle. Let's just go straight through to the auto battler system. And so they've got a very rudimentary force. Their numbers weren't terrible, but we actually have, like, our cavalry is going to absolutely rip these apart. They've just got light militia back in through here, just in peasant militia in through this other side on either end. They've got mounted Huscarls back in through here. Early spearmen, Huscarls. The Huscarls are going to give us a bit of a run for our money against the Ostmen, but we'll see how we go. We'll start the battle. Ranged phase. They've got 1 unit that can actually target ours. They're targeting these Brythonic foot. We're targeting their Huscarls, which is good. Mounted Huscarls and light militia back on the other side there with our skirmishers. And we did actually, these have become tired. These are strong. Their effectiveness went down a little bit. These are exhausted. Now we're going to struggle in the middle here, but we should actually then dominate. So we start here with our Ostmen against their Huscarls. Now they've got we've got a total ranking of 10 with this attack. So we end up with they're stronger units than what ours are. They've got more hit points, and they did actually have also more effectiveness. We've been able to wipe out one of those effectiveness with the archery. So but these are a stronger unit than ours typically. So let's just go and play it out. Okay, and we did manage to like, well, they rolled a 10, we rolled a 7, they had 1 point, which means we lose 1 effectiveness, which is not all that bad. They're going to be running anyway, so that's actually, we've held on to our own here. The next one we're going to have, I think it goes this way and then goes the other way, so let's just continue on. We've got medium militia there against Brythonic foot, and this is going to be an advantage to us, a fairly meaty advantage. There we go. Let's wipe them out. Next one. Now we should just rattle our way through these. And this one should be really easy with the cavalry. Then we come back this way. This is going to be a little bit more interesting again. These are very even with the early spearmen against our Ostmen. But we were good. Almost killed them. They've still got 1 hit point left. I'm really glad about this one here. This is the one that I was most concerned about. This one here is going to be a bit of a problem. But we're still surviving with just 1 hit point. So that one's actually good. And now we've got them. After this, our flankers are going to then sort of run rampant and sort of wipe their army out. And now we go through pursuit mode with our flankers. Hopefully we get to kill them. Yep. We killed the spearmen. Did a bit of damage to their others. And we won the battle. And we did actually end up killing... That's not ours, I don't think. I think that was the enemy. View the report. Yeah, that was theirs. So their general was killed in that particular combat. So that was good. The only problems we had is one of our Ostmen took a little bit of damage, and one of our Brythonic foot took a fair bit of damage. But we did manage to kill off a lot of theirs. The Huscarls and the mounted Huscarls managed to escape. Here comes more coming into fight. So we've actually come in, and now they're just drip feeding these in. This is going to be extremely simple for us. They've only got 1 unit that's actually come through. Just view the battle. Light Javelin Horse, not going to be able to do much at all. Exhausted. Wipe them out. So they're actually bringing everything into that region, but we got there first. Which is good. So we're sort of wiping out their armies as we go. So we're in a strong position here. That wasn't that Edward the Confessor who died? I don't think so, was it? No, I think it was just a general from... I don't think that was English. We'll find out. What his main army made less than 15 units to join with your force. Wow, okay, so he's actually made a big group. So our vassal is joining us. And so we now get to control his area. Now he's only got light javelin men. I think what I prefer to do is keep them in the borders here. Now that's hills, and that's hills. Let's just move them across just to protect our homelands. I'll have a quick look at England. Oh, you're right. Wow. You're right, von Schweinhut. Is he going to tell us that that's what happened? I didn't realise that with Edward the Confessor. So we've actually smashed Edward the Confessor. We've smashed the English army, not the Mercian army, with our group. So that was a big turnout then. So recruit non-standard units, that's good. So we've got more of those coming in. The battle's been fought in Cheshire between Wales and Northumbria. So that was from Northumbria. Oh, that was that one there. That's okay. We don't need to see that one. Battle was fought in Cheshire between Wales and Mercia. Mercia in England versus Wales. So it was a combined force. Yeah, wow, okay, that was great. What a turnout. Now I really wish I had played it out in Field of Glory 2 Medieval. But that was an incredible result for us. Now, what that does is this actually now completely changes. Yeah, authority. We must have picked up a bit there from that particular assault, from that particular battle. Now we need to heal up our forces. We've got this one Brythonic foot is actually fairly poorly off. We have these Ostmen as well, which have taken a little bit of a beating with their effectiveness. Let's just go back and have a look. You've received a new regional decision, recruit non-standard units. That's okay. In the region of Grufford, the claimed region of Cheshire has pledged allegiance to Wales. Wow! So we've actually done this all in one turn. Just get rid of that one for a second. It's still part of Mercia, though. Although no, I think that maybe they have come across. They're building rudimentary earthworks. When the group of Mercia do we rest Cheshire? Okay, so we actually have now taken that one then. In that case, so they have joined us. Being a vassal of Wales, they declared war upon Mercia. Yeah, that's okay. Wales demanded that his vassal Dubith answers his call. Yep, so we're now at war 2. Reluctant Dubith is mustering men. Yeah, okay, warring against. Yep, so they're not going to like that, but that's essentially what we're going to end up having. So, a bit complex with what actually happened through there, but this is now Cheshire has now joined our forces against the English. So we'll go down and now take Hereford. I could actually take Worcester, whatever however you pronounce it. Provincial units, yeah, we'll get the English mercenary bowmen come from here. Enemy towards Wales, yep, that's okay. Vassal of England. Maybe if look the fact that we got rid of Edward the Confessor, what that does to England is it changes essentially what they can then go and do. With their they're now going to have internal strife where they're going to now be everything's going to be a little bit sort of all over the place. But let's just move down into here and just keep on pushing our claims and try to sort of finish off this war. Yeah, so that's actually sort of it's half claimed anyway. That one there. It's still things may sort of develop with the actual war itself. Yes, we've got a lot of wars going on, but that was a good outcome for us. That's all we need to do. Let's have a quick look at the decisions. Up to 5 now. That's okay. Worcestershire. Great sauce from there. We've come for your black sauce. Oh, here we go. Now they've got Mercia's only got 3 units there. We've got 16 units. They've got more coming in, so we'll probably end up having to sort of sit back in here a little bit. But this is a good start. So we'll view the battle. And again, what have they got? Huskarls back in through there. They've got full hits and effectiveness. This isn't going to be all that easy for us because ours have taken a bit of a beating. Let's see how we go. Ranged attack. At least that one's tired. This one's still strong. Now, it's 8 versus 8. They've got 2 defense against our 2 attacks. This is the hard one. Yeah, we lost 1 effectiveness again. That's not too bad. This one here, we've got a slight advantage. We are going to be able to at least smash things from the side here. Even. Now, even is one of the worst results you can have because it actually ends up taking a lot of points from you. Now we do the flanking move. They're gone, and then we run. Run them down. Kill them. Not enough. So we're taking a bit of damage here. We will need to rest our forces. And again, is that the new king? I think it might be. Actually, I didn't look at the name. View the report. I wish you could see who it is. Now we'll be besieging the capital of Mercia in Worcestershire. I didn't even take note of who the English king was. Oh no, it's still Edric. Previously known as Hugh Rokesby. Rulings for 2 turns, 1 year. Married to Dame Audrey Grey. It's the air chance is weak with this one. Military 0, administration party both 3. Now, if we ask for peace, if you want to settle peace with the other nation, they have a few turns to accept or reject your offer. So we've got the base accepted chance of only 12%. Relationship is terrible. Defensive war, you're overstretched, minus 10%. Relative combat power between us, minus 10%. That's not too bad. You despise some nations we appreciate. War duration hasn't gone on for long enough. You have allies of vassals. You have some land which we claim for ourselves. Yes, that's true. You have claims on our land. Yep. Okay, so final peace chance is 0%. What about Mercia? Oh, the Leeds will decide, so we have to go back through England for that one. Okay, so we've got the in Powys, a competent noble with authority has ordered the construction of a village roads in Wales, an effort to develop the region. That's good. I'm not seeing it show up in here though. Let it continue. Let's do a new regional decision. Mercenary company if we wanted it. Don't think we need it at this stage. So a battle was fought in Worcestershire between Mercia and Wales. Okay, we don't need to see that. For now, Grufford of Dubith did not feel it was safe or necessary to send troops under your direct command. Yep, that's okay. So they're just going to sort of do their own thing a little bit, which is fine. I think we can go it alone if we have to. Wales demanded that his vassal Dubith answers his call. Yeah, there we go. Actually, I should start at the bottom here. This is really the order. So Dubith is now fighting alongside their vassal. Reluctantly, that's okay. All right, so we've got all that stuff. Now we are besieging this particular location. So we have a siege going on. They've got one walls unbreached. Let's go and use our siege warfare decision. The art of siege. So we'll actually go and do that one. You've played the art of siege of Worcestershire. It's at Worcester. Worcester, is that? I'm probably still mispronouncing it. So their progress tokens to. There must have been a question there. Sorry. What are the tokens in that list? Says Tylen Lethel. I'll answer that now. Actually, I'll go through. So Steve is saying that they are progress tokens towards upgrading your government. I think yes. I'll show you how that one works. Anyway, we'll play that. We'll play that one there to try to bring the walls down. We don't want to be attacking as such. In there, what have they got in through that other side? They've got a fairly strong army. 2 armies in there at this point in time. A lot of archers. So I think we'll starve them out if we can. That's a big army. They may come out. We could lose this one. Right, what we'll do here is actually, sorry, I'm just going to show you how this one works. So the what actually happens is you can see through here, this is our authority. So the planned authority changes to 2.8. We get them from all sorts of different things. So I'll start from how this one actually does work. The domain size is essentially the number of regions that we control. And so the domain size is smallish, so we end up with a 1.2 bonus in through there. Special structures are giving us a 1.5 as well, and we've got national modifiers is giving us a 0.1. So additional change from the last turn was the battles that we won gave us 1.2 extra authority, and the current domain size of 6. Required domain size for the realm change is 19. Maximum domain size for authority gain is 18. Actually, this is an easy way to see we have a lot more regions under our control. So to earn progress tokens and eventually to change your realm government, you must rank in the top tier of the authority table when compared to other nations. High authority also reduces the risk of civil war. So what actually happens, what it's saying there in that last little section, is that when we go across to our nation panel and have a look at the authority and disorder, it's showing that we've got, at the moment with the authority, we are sitting at the rank of 17th because of the numbers that we actually have. And so that puts us in the top tiers, and you'll see that they're coloured green. That means that we're in the top of all the different countries. White just means that they're in the middle, and then there's some at the bottom there as well. Now the way that these work is that you've got you've essentially got a authority. Sorry, the way it then works in through here is as you get 5 tokens, if we get 5 tokens, we would then go from a stable petty kingdom to an ascending petty kingdom. And this would then still keep us with the Western feudal state. That would be the same. And then but we get ascending where we get other bonuses. If we go to the bottom of the rung and have low authority and get 5 of the regression tokens, we end up degrading down to an unstable petty kingdom. We still have the Western feudal state, but we then are in turmoil. And so we have loyalty problems, things like this. So you don't want to be going backwards. Now, if we go into the ascending petty kingdom in through here, let's just say we do make it to that one there. And then from there, if we get another 5, we then go into a young kingdom. And so in this case, we sort of then go across, and it continues on through. From a young kingdom, if we get 5 more, we go into a stable kingdom. A stable kingdom becomes an ascending kingdom. An ascending kingdom becomes a young monarchy. And you see it goes from 2 to 3 at that point. And so we go from a Western feudal state through to being a major Western feudal state, where we get extra bonuses again. And it just continues on, a stable monarchy, back and through there, ascending monarchy, and then we become an empire. So this is a young unruly empire. So again, we're still a major Western feudal state. It then sort of continues on through ascending, a young empire in through there, stable empire, ascending empire, and that's basically as far as we can go. So there's a big long progression, and we can go backwards the other way as well. Like if we go back out, and I'll just go and select it again. If we regress, this is where if you have low authority, then you are going to have the chance of picking up 5 of the regression tokens. And I forget exactly what they're called. They're not called regression tokens, I don't think. But in this case, we would then go to an unstable petty kingdom, which would then sort of put us into turmoil. At this point, we then have things like we may have civil wars breakouts, things like that. If we then get another 5 again, we can then go into a fragmented petty kingdom, which we start to break up. And so usurpers will soon declare themselves, nobles are quarrelling against each other, ready to take arms, decadence and corruption are now rampant, and the treasury is emptying at a worrying rate. And so we have even less loyalty at that point. If we regress further, we then go from a tier 2 kingdom down to a tier 1. And we become a minor Western feudal state. So we don't have the same benefits that we had in before. And with a stable duchy, in fact, you saw there, if I go back up, and then we go back, we end up with civil war if we go back there as well. So regions with less than 75 loyalty may revolt against your government. So we end up with a civil war at that point, and it's just now sort of stuck there. But anyway, that's the, let's go back in there again. Yeah, so turmoil, breaking up, civil war, and we end up as a stable duchy at that point in time. But we're fragmented. We've become a much, much smaller grouping. Now, the reason we're playing Wales in this run is because we ended up... Oh, we are running out of people. Jeez, I didn't even look at that. Sorry. Thanks for that. I didn't even notice it. Thanks, Dandy. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. But the so our manpower is dissolving away. We're going to have to fix that one up. That's because we're feeding our armies. We're going to we may have too many in our grouping. Let's fulfill this one here. But the manpower is going to be a problem. Yeah, accumulate globally, which is used a lot by military units on their recruitment and upkeep. If you go above your maximum, mostly that's not really a problem. It's the problem is that we're going to run out. So and that's something we don't want to have happen. So we're going to have to try to fix that. Thanks for mentioning that. I wouldn't have seen that. But anyway, those tokens, what used to happen, the reason we're playing Wales is, Wales started off as a level 1 duchy. That was really what they were. And so they've only just upgraded it to a petty kingdom, which allows them to have a bit more scope. And that's why we thought we'd actually play as them. Other things we have. So, manpower. Getting only +2 manpower in through there. Now, the only change I can really make with this is going to be hard. If I go back out to the actual, this grouping out through here, we're getting +9 nobles and men focus on unit recruitment speed. The rest of the population will be distributed with a balanced approach. Yeah, I could do it that way. It's not going to do anything though. Didn't make any changes. I think we're a bit stuck here actually. Military upkeep 73. These should all be they're all standing army units. These are costing us because we're outside of our territory. Oh, we're going to have to go back. Okay, we've gone outside of what we can actually do, but let's just stay there for one more turn. Well, they keep on sending forces in to attack us. I'm sort of hoping that they come out of the castle. Yep, so they've got 30 units attacking us, so 30 units with 185 against our 176. So this could be quite an interesting battle. Again, this will be an interesting one to see. We're in a snowy plain here. We'll view the battle again. I think we're going to lose this. Although they've only got a... they're attacking us. We've only got a defense of 1 against their attack of 1. Wow. So it's a snowy plains. We do have the cavalry will help us a lot. They've got Huskars all the way across the front there. Let's see how we go. Ranged phase. That's not good. That's not good. Alright, so they've got a slight advantage with their Huskars, but we did well there. They're still steady. We're doing well there as well. That's good. That's a good result. That's not. So we lost that group of... Yeah, we should now dominate these. Charge down those. Charge down those. So we should be able to chase their groups away. On the other side, we've got the other Huskars. Come on, guys. Yep, 20 each. Stalemate. Not good. So our Brythonic foot are not able to cope with this in the plains. Well there, that's good. Now they're going to run or they're going to stay in the fight? Okay, let's go. Pursuit. Actually, they are running. Great. Didn't kill as many as I was hoping for, but anyway, that's fine. So we did actually get the, because we managed to flank, we got enough kills of their other units for us to sort of be able to keep on going with that one through there. At least we got a little bit less manpower. And we've claimed this one as well. So Stebron saying, Daz is Alexander reborn. We're a bit lucky there, I think. There we go. We've got our progress token back in through here. So we've got a progress token, our first one. We've been in this top rung for so long, but we just didn't have the chance. We just didn't pick them up. Like you can see, a few of the other places are now getting like 4 of them. Holy Roman Empire's got 4. Okay, royal marriage. We didn't talk about this one. Important diplomatic tool. They require a female character over 14 in your court. And significant long-term effects when one of the rulers of the 2 involved nations dies. Now, we don't have that ability at this point in time. Now, we've now got 33, but -8, because we're now inside our territory. So let's just sit there for a little bit longer and just sit and make this one. Now, what have we got through here? We've got Wales is now receiving progress tokens. Yeah, there we go. We've got that one, which is good. I'll start at the bottom here. Battle has been fought in Worcester between Mercia and Wales. That was, again, a good one for us. Good result. A lot of enemy forces. It's a great victory. We've gained Worcester, which was the seat of power of Mercia. The treasury has been plundered, although not everything was there. So 37 money was gained. So a little bit helpful up through the top bit there. Then we've got the Mercia's hold on Worcester has been shattered, for we have claimed it in the name of our nation. So we're just going to stay where we are, I think. You've received a new regional decision, gift to appear. So that's going to allow us to have a look and see. What have we got? Gift to appear. Grand show of generosity will gift to a peer of the realm, governor, jewellery, precious tapestries, and costly work of art. The poorer the peer, the bigger the effect of his loyalty. The reverse is true, though, and a rich governor won't care much about a monetary gift. Last but not least, if used towards a foreign governor, depending on your relationship with the other nation, the loyalty of the peer will also be raised or lowered. So in that case, I can actually place it with one of these governors. That's all I can really do. And at this stage, I think that both their loyalties are fine, so let's just not worry about it. So we'll close that one off. Now we need England to come to the negotiating table. Yeah, still 0%. I'm just going to stay where I am, though. Yeah, we did well there. So they came out of the city. I'm not going to keep on marching off. I've still got 33 manpower. At least we're not, if we're not operating inside enemy territory at this stage. They hate us with a passion. King Edric of England. So Von Schweinhut saying, yes, isn't it weird that if the vassal joins us, that reduces our manpower? Shouldn't they rely on their own manpower to recruit? Yeah, you sort of half think so, wouldn't you, really? Actually, that's true. That's what it was. Let's move them into there. We'll just keep on. We'll stay where we are. And end our turn here again. Another smallish group. Smash these. Shouldn't have any real problems with these at all. Yeah, so we've sort of wiped out the armies that are coming up against us. I think these were the armies that had left before. And pursuit. Yeah, we destroyed the whole army in that instance. That was good. Good result. Oh, that's a bit dangerous. There's more coming up to attack us. I think I might move that other group off. Yeah, the group in Hereford there, it's too much for this group. So I think we'll move back off into here again. Hopefully we won't be caught. And so I think I'll just leave it. Actually, I'm looking at the time. I've actually run out of time, guys, so I'm going to have to leave it here. So there'll be more of the videos coming out of the lens on snapshots, and so I'm going to leave it at this position here, and then we'll come back and see how we go in the next phase. And we do actually have problems with our manpower. We will have to sort of try to find ways around that one if we can. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching. I hope I answered enough questions and stuff and presented what was happening. Try to sort of connect the what had been presented on those little videos again. So the lens on snapshot, just do a search on them on YouTube, and you'll find just little snippets there, less than 3 minutes each, just with little interesting tidbits of history from the medieval times. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.